Today we'll recap a 2019 horror thriller film named Along Came the Devil 2. A young woman seeks help from a cleric when a demonic force starts to terrorize her small town. To better understand this recap, please watch the first part. The link is available in the description or click on the I button above. Kindly remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you like the video. At the beginning of the movie, we see Father Michael praying, and then we are shown a scene from 3 nights ago where a boy Xander is sleeping, who is Ashley and Jordan's stepbrother. Suddenly a sound wakes him up, and he sees that a beheaded dead body is coming towards him. He gets scared seeing this and hides in his room and then sees a severed head in his room which belonged to Sarah. Then he goes to his parents' room. Seeing him, his dad gets scared because he was holding his severed head in his hand. He tells him that Jordan is coming home. Then he wakes up and it was just his nightmare. In the next scene, we see Jordan, who has received a message from Tanya to come home. Then she tries to contact Ashley but her call does not work. So she drops a message for her and we see that Ashley's phone is with Father Michael. She then leaves to go home. On the other hand, Father Michael along with a man buries the body of John and the doctor, and asks the man to clean Tanya's house as well. The man gives him a number and address which is that of Ashley's dad, Mark. After this, Father calls Mark and explains everything and goes to meet him. Here Jordan calls one of her friends on the way and tells her that she is not able to contact Ashley and Tanya, and is worried about them. Her friend also lives in the same town and asks Jordan to meet her. Next, we see Father and Mark who are on their way to Tanya's house. Mark tells him that he hasn't seen his daughters for many years, and wishes he could come here a little earlier and meet Ashley and Tanya. Father told him that Dr. Karaz has took him out of town. Mark tells that he has changed now. His second wife Karen is very nice and he used to miss his daughters a lot. He wants to meet them and fix everything. After this, they reach Tanya's home, where Father tells Mark that some of Ashley's actions are exactly like Sarah's. She is experiencing some things as Sarah did, to which Mark asks if she too has mental problems. Just then Jordan also reaches there and asks them if everything is fine. Father tells her that Ashley is facing some traumatic problems, so Tanya and Dr. Karaz took her out of town. But it's gonna be alright. Jordan is not very happy to meet her dad, and she goes inside the house. Now as soon as she enters the house, she feels a bit strange, and we see the spirit of Dr. Karaz in Ashley's room, who says under the church. Then Father and Mark come there and Jordan runs out from there. She asks them what is going on here. Why is Ashley's room so different? Father tries to explain to her, and only then does Mark says that Ashley and Tanya will come back soon. Until then she can stay at his house. Father Michael gives her his card and tells her to call him if she has any problems. Now on the way, Mark says sorry to her, and Jordan remembers her childhood when Mark used to abuse them. He says that their mother's death had disturbed him badly, and he knows that she hates her, which she has every right to do. He asks her for a chance and swears to do the best he can, but she angrily says that she has come here just to find Ashley. Now Xander and Karen welcome her into the house. Xander shows her room and Karen says that this is her own house, and she can stay here as long as she wants. But Jordan says that she just wants to find her sister, to which Karen tells her not to worry. They are her family and are always with her. Next, Jordan sees Xander talking to someone, but no one is there. When asked by her, Xander does not tell her anything and they both leave for dinner. Now at the dining table, they talk about how the doctor and Tanya can take Ashley away without informing anyone. Here Jordan tells that she had received Tanya's message in the morning, and since then she has not been able to have any contact with both of them. Mark tells that according to Father, Ashley is also facing some mental problems like Sarah, to which Jordan says that Sarah had never been diagnosed with any mental problem. Then all of a sudden Mark gets angry and slams Xander's phone on the table because he was playing game, but then he says sorry, after which Xander and Jordan go to sleep and Karen relaxes Mark. Later he goes to Xander's room and apologizes to him, after which both of them start praying. Now late at night Xander wakes up from sleep and goes to Jordan's room, where we see a demonic entity behind him, and then he sleeps there next to Jordan. The next morning, Father hangs a cross on the outside wall of their house and then sprinkles salt at the entrance. Just then, Xander comes out and very rudely tells him that she does not like him doing it. Then Mark comes there and Father says that they need to talk. Father says he wants to tell him something about the day Ashley was born, and then we see him doing an exorcism in a flashback, But then Karen comes over and he stops and asks Mark to come to his office. Now while leaving, he asks Xander about what he had spoken outside and about whom he was talking, but he does not say anything. Then Father leaves the Bible in their house. After this, Jordan goes to meet her friend and Father sees her leaving. Here Mark tells Karen that he is going to Father's office. He has a job opportunity for him and he will also drop Xander to school on the way. Now after they leave, Karen clears the salt from the entrance and removes the cross from the wall and puts back the wall hanging. On the other hand, Jordan meets her old friend Nat, where her brother Taylor meets her along with his friends. They were Ashley's classmates and tells her that one day Ashley had fallen asleep in class and then suddenly woke up screaming, which scared their whole class. She then also bit off Shane's tongue. She just went crazy and totally lost her mind. Nat then comes out with Jordan and tells her that her mother told her that one day suddenly Ashley had a breakdown at church in front of everyone. She was even bleeding from her eyes. She confirms that Father Michael was also there. She then tells her Hannah passed away, and she was hanging out with Ashley just before she died. She heard that they wanted to do some seance so that Ashley could talk to her mother. Then she also tells about how they did that seance. Next, Jordan goes to the police station to get Ashley's missing report written, where the officer tells her that she knows Tanya and she has taken Ashley out for treatment. She also says that Ashley had a panic attack in the church, which they all saw. Jordan tells her that Ashley doesn't go anywhere without telling her, and asks her to check under the church. But the officer takes her number and asks her to go home. On the other hand, Father Michael, while talking to Father Thomas, says that he cannot hide it for long, and things are getting out of his control. Father says that 2 people are already dead and Tanya is in shock, and if they don't help him, he can be sent to jail. Father Thomas asks him to keep the secret for some more days and someone will soon contact him. Now Mark comes to meet Father Michael, where Father asks him about Jordan. Mark tells that she considers him responsible for every problem her mother faced, but he wants to be a good dad to his children. Now Father reveals here that Ashley has had the same demon that possessed Sarah. Mark does not understand this. Then Father tells him that the demon was not ready to leave Sarah's body when he was doing her exorcism, and when he sprinkled the holy water on her, the demon screamed out loud, and at the same time, Ashley was born. Now Mark gets disturbed after hearing this, and Father says that he should have left Sarah to die that day. But Mark says that he himself saw Sarah's body being buried. But Father says that he did what he thought was right then, but now he does not understand anything further. Now Mark gets very angry and asks him where is his daughter. He says that if he hides anything from him, he will kill him. Then he leaves there and Father says that Jordan is next. Now that night, Jordan takes that Bible to her room and starts doing the same seance to call the spirit. But as soon as she hears some voices, she extinguishes the candles. Then she goes to eat something in the kitchen where Jordan is drinking. Jordan does not like this because she thought that he may have quit drinking. Then she leaves from there, saying that tomorrow morning she will leave this house. On the other hand, Xander hears the sound of whispering and feels that someone is under the bed. At first, he doesn't see anyone there, but upon seeing again, the devil haunts him in the form of Sarah, causing him to run away in fear. Then we see him standing at the door of Jordan's room. He runs to her and suddenly turns into a ghost. But it was just a nightmare. Xander tells her that someone is under his bed. But when both of them go there to check, there is no one there. Then he asks if he can sleep with her, and only then, after turning off the light, we see a beheaded ghost in the room. And then she takes him to her room, and we see that ghost moving towards them. On the other hand, Mark wakes up from sleep and sees Sarah's spirit. He starts following her, but after going a little further she disappears and Mark sits there crying. That's when he realizes Sarah's hands are on his shoulders. He apologizes to her for not being able to help her. But when he holds her hands, he feels a sticky substance in his hands, and then he looks up and screams out loud. On the other hand, Karen does not see Mark on the bed and she goes to drink water. But after she leaves, her reflection remains in the mirror. Then she goes to check on the children and then starts looking for Mark in the house. Now when she comes back to the room, Mark is lying on the bed. But we see that he was possessed and was holding a knife in his hand. Then he turns towards her crying and stabs her with a knife, and she dies there. Now Jordan wakes up after hearing some voices and sees that Mark is banging dead Karen. Seeing this, she runs away in fear and tells Jordan that they have to leave from here. She then helps Xander to exit through the window while Mark is trying to open the door. Now as Xander comes down, Mark runs behind him. Here Jordan comes out and starts searching for Xander, But Mark jumps on her and he injures her shoulder with a knife. But then Xander knocks Mark unconscious. Next, they both come inside the house where Jordan hides him in the closet and goes upstairs to call the police. She hides under the bed and calls the police and also opens the boot of her car. Just then Mark also comes inside the house and tries to find Mark by breaking into the closet. But when he doesn't find him, he goes upstairs and comes to Jordan's room. Now as soon as he is about to look under the bed, only then does he hear some sound from outside. He sees the boot of the car open through the window and goes downstairs. Jordan thinks that he is gone, so she comes out with Xander, and both of them get into the car and start leaving. They think that they have escaped from Mark, but then he comes out from behind. Seeing him, they get very scared and comes out of the car. Then the police also come there and they tell them that Mark is inside the car. Now when they go to check in the car, Mark attacks an officer with an axe and kills him. Another officer shoots at him but to no avail, and then he injures her too. Then he goes towards the children and breaks the window glass with his head. Then the officer shoots him again, which makes him very angry. He goes up to her and blows her eyes. Then Jordan comes from behind and hits him on the head with an axe, due to which he dies. The officer then informs her chief, and we see Chief Lane here. Her team tells her that they have found the dead bodies of Pastor John and Dr. Karaz behind the church. She tells her officers to get Father Michael out. Father tells them that they are making a big mistake, and then an officer tells her that they found cells under the church where Tanya and her niece are locked up. After this, all the police officers and the chief go inside, and then we see possessed Sarah comes out, who killed all the officers. Now Father starts reading prayers after seeing her, and then she disappears from there. Then she suddenly comes behind the father and screams, and the movie ends here. Thanks for watching.